it looks like based on their schedule, they're going to have to play in a lot of shootouts. Well, that's going to require a lot of passing the football to Justin Jefferson.
Welcome into another Purple Insider Extra. Jonathan Harrison here, joined once again by Purple Insider's Matthew Coller. And Coller, the question of the day is Justin Jefferson, not his contract extension this time. We're going to talk about what he can do in 2023. Last year, he set records and pretty much came out onto the scene as the best wide receiver in the league, 1,800 yards receiving, 128 receptions, 8 touchdowns receiving. Is it possible that in the second year of Kevin O'Connell's offense, that Justin Jefferson can do even better than what he did last year?
Yeah, it is kind of rare that a player comes out and says, I want to be known as the best receiver in the league, and then they do it. And that's exactly what Justin Jefferson did last year. Around this time in his first media availability with Kevin O'Connell, that's what Jefferson said, is I want to be known as the absolute best. And he set that bar extremely, extremely high last season. I mean, I think that what he did last year would be difficult to top even historically. I mean, not that, there's never been receiving seasons like this. Cooper Kupp was very, very good a couple years ago as well. But those numbers are just some of the best that have ever been put up by a wide receiver. Repeating that year in and year out to that level, I think is very difficult. And that just can have to do with circumstances. He was very, very healthy last year. I don't even remember any nicks or cuts or anything else like that. I mean, you can fall one time and be out for a couple weeks, then all of a sudden your numbers suffer, even though you're still a great, great player. So it is difficult to continue to put up numbers like that. Also, there's more guys to share the ball to, I think, this year. TJ Hockenson being his first full season in the offense, as opposed to just coming in last minute, though he did very well in doing so. Jordan Addison, we'll see what kind of attention he gets. I think they'd like to see even a step up from KJ Osborne, use the running backs a little more. Maybe they've, added some extra to the tight end room and Josh Oliver. Like the football is going to get spread around, I think, a little bit more. And also we saw in the second half of the season that defenses started to put all of their attention, not just a lot, but all of their attention on Justin Jefferson, which might reduce the catch and yard totals even a little bit, but also, might still be very, very effective for the offense. Now, the counterpoint to saying that he'll drop back a little bit numbers wise, and again, that doesn't mean drop back in his play. It just means that even when you go back and look at Randy Moss or Jerry Rice seasons, it's not every single year that they're setting records, that there are some ups and downs due to randomness. But if we're making an argument for him repeating, I mean, one, he's still very, very much coming into his prime as a young player in the NFL. So there's not any difference when it comes to him as a player. But it looks like based on their schedule, they're going to have to play in a lot of shootouts. They play all the teams that were playing on championship weekend. They have a very difficult schedule of opposing quarterbacks. And even some of the teams that we don't consider to be all that great can still put up some points. I mean, take like Vegas, for example. That's not a great football team, but they have a good quarterback and they have Devontae Adams, and that could very well end up as a shootout. So if the Vikings ended up as a top 10 offense and a defense that was very much in transition and struggled at times, and they ended up playing games that were 38-35, well, that's going to require a lot of passing the football to Justin Jefferson. And that's why fantasy numbers are not always real life. If you're winning by a lot, your receiver might not get those bigger fantasy numbers. But I think that we should not expect anything but the best of the best from Justin Jefferson, and how Kevin O'Connell adapts to those defenses, really forcing the Vikings to try to throw it anywhere else except Jefferson. The adjustments might make the difference of whether it is the 10th or 12th best offense, or if it gets into the top 5, because they certainly have the weapons to do that.
That's been another Purple Insider Extra for Bring Me the Sports. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the Purple Insider Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Talk to you next time.